Hello everyone, welcome to Day One Dev YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about a pipeline Java project using Docker. We're going to build a Docker image and using JFrog CLI. So let me start a build here and we can go back and we can see what are the stages we are doing it here. That simplifies most of the process how I'm doing it. Right. So if you see here, I do have a package preset up. I do it in clone, which is a VCS getting it. And we also do a Maven project. So this is one of a part which I want to call you, especially on Java projects, like a Node or Python. You don't need to do this stuff where you're just do a compile, make sure that your runtime, you're not going to see any scripting challenges. So you just compile it and you can move to a Docker. But in Java world, that is not a best practice. We always suggest is build your package and only move your jar file to a Docker. So you're not gonna do that. So in a Docker file, you'll see a jar file, not as a source code, which I'm also showing you here. See here, we always call out package building it, everything here. All right, this is the one area I highly suggest you should do that. All right. So once you are done this part, then you're building entire project and you see here, I created a jar. Here, I created a build scan also, I used it. So you can see I'm gonna run in a debug mode. You can see here the command, I'm scanning the code and audit is always a pre-step, making sure that you have all the issues and you build a Java using a Maven clean build. And then you're configuring some configuration environment variables, and I'm building an image, a Docker image here as regular using a Docker command. So this is not something different. I'm just building. The only difference here is I'm using OpenJDK Alpine. You can see here, or you can also use other JDK versions. And I do some inspect before I do anything, making sure that the package is good. Then I pushed it to Artifactory, which you can see here. I pushed an image. Let's go to just show you. Okay, I'll show you why I did a multiple stuff. I'll talk about in a different project. And we are doing a build number 27. So you can see here, build number 27 has been created. And you should say that's the timestamp, everything, what time it's been triggered. All right. So this is going on. The scan is also as part of another command, which I want to educate if you're using a JFrog CLI. This has specifically a command to use a Docker build command. So if I go to my Jenkins file, I'll also show you here that that script is available on my Git repository. You can see that. And you can see here already we created a build. We see as this an early phase. Oh, okay, here it's, there you go. I create a build scan, which is going to be easier for you to make sure that everything has been there. Oh, sorry, this is a build. The one which we have to talk about is a Docker scan. There you go. Then after that is done, I do have a build info. You can see here, I collect the environment variables, the script you can see here, and I have an getting in a bag, which is in the VCS information, which I'm getting it. And then I'm creating a build create, you can see here. And also parallelly, I'm using a build publish. This is where I'm publishing it. So now let's come to our build publish here. All right. Okay, it's going to build, and this is where I created a build. You can see here 27. The build has all the Docker images and as well as also packaged Maven file. So this is where it end up. So when I talked about, just give you, remind you, when I said environment variables, it collects some certain environment variables. And also when I said a VCS, where the code is coming from, this is where it's also, you have information, everything, right? And publish it. We already published it and I'm doing a build scan. I think it's running an asynchronous. I don't know why it failed, but build command has a here. If the job is running asynchronous, has been configured and it's the job will not fail. You can see here, I have a parameter fail equals false. By default is a true if you don't set this. your Jenkins pipeline will fail. Okay, just make sure that. Then after that, I'm going to a release bundle. And this is where we are talking about a release bundle where I'm creating a spec. You can see here, I'm creating a JSON file in this format. Then I'm promoting it to new. So now this is where we'll go to a release bundle. So if you're seeing my code here, you can see here already I have a Spring Clinic, and we talked about a 27 build. I'll talk about, so this is a state we are talking about create. I can see all this Maven file and Docker image, everything you see it here. And after this, I promoted to dev. You see here, it's promoted to dev. Then after that, I promoted to QA. This is where this ended up my pipeline. And after that, I can clean it. So in your environment, if you have a production staging, you can create a number of times. This doesn't require a lot of a line of a code. You can see here pretty straightforward, where this is pretty much you're using it, your URL access token, and finally make sure that the repository, whatever you map it, it's been configured. So the one more which I want to educate you is purely here. So let's go to a QA, right? So if I go to a QA, I want you to let me bring it up. All right. So it's here. It was in a dev local. All right. Now let's go to a QA. It should be in a QA local. The reason is I created in virtual. It has two locals. One is a dev local, which has been configured as a default, and the other one is a QA. Whenever I promote, the package has been moved and from a dev to local. I want you to remember Artifactory is not purely, you're not wasting your storage. The entire stuff runs over a checksum. So that's the one good part. The checksum remains same because the package checksum is remains same. It's not going to change anything. So you're moving a folder. You're not paying for a storage share. So that's a one good point which I liked it compared to other products. So that's where I learned a lot of things, what JFrog can bring in and what's the value you're going to see. So other point I also call out is why this is important here, moving a folder, which I want to educate especially. So in my previous experience where I worked in financial industry, most of the time what there is where the project artifact is. So once a developer has been deployed to production and between they go for different stages like a QA staging environment or multiple QA environments. And now after they're deployed to production, the enterprise will have a production system like a ServiceNow or Pacto for different products, and they record the information. So after a certain time, because it has entire enterprise-wide information, and it's going to be a challenge for a developer to figure it out where the package and when it was. So when has been promoted, and now they have to look at in big inventory of information. They look at information, or you're recording that information somewhere in your documentation. So it's a manual part. So, but at least if you know this package, the way it's been promoted, which I'm showing you here. So if you come to your project and go for this project, you can visit in a Kanban mode. Okay, there's a Kanban mode. You can see here the number of artifact or the environments where the package has been there and it's been promoted. So if you have a UIT production, UI, you can do this. You can promote it, just drag and drop. It will get on it. You can do that too. But generally, I do not suggest. Okay, I did not map with my repositories. That's why it's saying it's asking me target. So let's assume if I move this to prod, it will work because see, this here already I have been mapped it as a prod. So I'll not see any challenge. I'm not going to do that because generally that is the administrator part. If I'm a DevOps side, I always prefer this moving through APIs. All right. I hope you learned something new, and please subscribe to Dev and Dev, and I'll see you in next video. All right.